Welcome everyone. Today we will learn to use custom functions in Power Query M language. A Power Query M custom function is a reusable piece of M code that takes input parameters, performs a specific set of transformations or calculations, and returns a single output value, which can be a primitive value, a list, a record, or a table. Custom functions are used for reusability, simplicity, and maintainability. Today we are going to calculate commission on sales for each salesperson using a custom M function. So let's go ahead and start our video. Let's start by importing some data from an Excel file. Select the file and click on the Open button. Wait for a few seconds. In the Navigator window, select the tables you want to import. Now, since we want to transform this data, we will click on the Transform button instead of the Load button. This will load the data into the Power Query window, where we can transform the data using the M language. To create a custom function, you need to create a blank query. First of all, we need to rename our query to make it memorable and easily accessible. After renaming the query, we need to open the query in Advanced Query Editor. This is how we normally write our query. There are no parameters, just the let and in sections. So here we are going to add some parameters. We can add any number of parameters, but we must add minimum one parameter. In our first parameter, we are going to get the amount of sales which is required to determine the commission rate. After that, we will need the amount of sales target. Based on this, a higher or lower commission rate will apply. Low rate is the rate of commission which will apply if you made sales less than the target amount. If you manage to cross the target, you get the high rate of commission. We can also use optional parameters in our custom functions. In this parameter, we will ask for day of week name as text, like Monday or Friday. We are going to add another optional parameter, asking if weekend rate applies or not. If weekend rate applies, then sales made on weekends will get double commission. The data type of this parameter is logical, which accepts true or false values. So these are the parameters required to calculate commission rate. Weekend special commission depends on policy, therefore it is optional. Finally, we need to define the data type in which we expect the output of this function. First of all, we need to determine which rate to apply. So if the sales amount is higher than the target sales, the high rate will be applied. Otherwise, the low rate will be applied. Secondly, we need to determine if it is weekend or not. We are already getting the weekday name, so we will use a condition, and if the day is Saturday or Sunday, then it is weekend, otherwise it is not. And finally, we need to determine if we should apply the weekend rate or not. For that, we need to check if weekend rate is allowed or not, and it is weekend or not. Special rate will only apply if both conditions are true. After we have determined all these variables, we can calculate the final rate, which is the base rate, multiplied by the multiplier. And this final rate is what we want this function to return. After we are done, we can click on the Done button to complete the function. We can check this function by supplying the parameter values, especially the day of week and weekend rate fields. We can make changes to these values and see the impact on the result. Now let's apply this function to our dataset and calculate commission for each salesperson. First, we will add a custom column and convert dates into names of days. We will use the built-in day of week name function to get the name of the day from date column. Now we need to another column named commission rate, where we will use the custom function we created previously and calculate the rate of sales commission. Sales amount is the first parameter that we need, and for this we will use the sales column. In the second parameter, we need to enter the target sales amount. So let's enter 100. You can enter any value. And we need to provide the low and high rates of commission. We will get the name of the day from the day name column we have already created. And finally, we need to confirm if policy allows special rate or not by entering true or false. When done, click on the OK button, and now you have the commission rates in your custom column. And you can see that on weekends double commission is applied since we entered true in the parameter. Now it's time to create a new column and calculate actual commission by multiplying sales amount with the commission rate. And here we have our commission on sales for each salesperson. Now that we are done here, we can click on the Close and Apply button to load this data into the data pane. Now let's create a dashboard to visualize this information, starting with a title. Then we will create a line chart to display daily sales. After that, we will add a column chart to display sales by salespersons. And finally, we will add another chart to display the amount of commission earned by each salesperson. It seems that the commission field is not formatted as number, making it not possible to aggregate. We can change its data type to decimal to correct this issue. And now we can go back to the report view and aggregate the commission field without any problem. And now our dashboard is complete. Now you can clearly see the amount of commission earned by each salesperson. And this is how you use custom functions in M language to transform data like this. With this, we end our tutorial. See you soon in another tutorial with another interesting topic.